we're not going to see Lil Durk again. And if we do, then the judicial system has failed us. For 15 years of bounties, murders, bodies, every time Lil Durk is free and out in the streets, people die. When he's not in the streets, locked up, people don't die. That's associated with his ops and his crew. That is not a coincidence. That is causation. Lil Durk deserves life in prison. Lil Durk to me is the epitome of demon time. King Von was the epitome of demon time. They've dated back doing crimes since 2011, and that was when he first got arrested for a crime. Lord knows what he was doing before then. He is a menace to society. He has done no good to the minds of young people. He needs to be in jail for life. Now, I've got receipts dating all the way back to 2011. Let me go over a few of them with you really quick so you can understand, and maybe something will click in your brain as far as common sense is concerned, because in my brain is clicking, why the hell would anybody want to release this man? Let's go to 2011 with his first arrest. Now, weapons possession, served 3 months in jail at age 19. The source. Now, these are federal court documents, FBI affidavits, and also verified court filings. So I'm not just talking out of my ass here. Now, let's go to 2013. Now, remember, in 2011, he had a weapons charge. Okay, let's go to 2013 then, okay? Second gun charge. So, and that was with what he got caught with doing, okay? Now, 2013, Newski, his beloved cousin. We're going to show a picture of Newski. His beloved cousin Newski dies. Matter of fact, wrote a clip of the situation and how he talks about Newski.
He's got some tattoos done.
Yeah.
Hey, we take a look at him?
Newski. RP Pat.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about your right hand.
Blood cousin. Got killed. Chicago. Yeah.
So I remember D-Thing sent me a picture of Newski signing his deal like 2 days before he got killed.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man. Like how long have y'all were you talking about signing him before he actually signed his deal?
Like, shit, we first started rapping. Like 8 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So after he signed the deal, like how'd y'all celebrate?
We didn't really even get a chance. Ain't nothing. We didn't get a chance.
How'd you feel when you heard about the news?
Fuck up. Like regular, it's like regular, fucked up. Emotional as hell.
How many of your friends do you think you lost to violence? You know?
Like 20.
20 friends?
I think like 20.
Not 20 people you knew, 20 actual friends.
Yeah, like 20, 30 people.
So, I mean, at 20, how do you feel? You know, I mean, how does it affect you? I mean, obviously the first time it happened, it was,
it's fucked up, but you can't break down though.
Nah?
Yeah, especially by being like a leader. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people got their eyes on me. So if I'm over here crying, I can't have them looking like, fuck it, I'm gonna cry too because he crying. You gotta stay strong for that type of shit.
Newski was the first of multiple associates that were close to Durk die. Now it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And you sitting here talking about free Durk. You sitting here not having an opinion on whether or not he should be free. He isn't in your community. Because if he was in your community, you wouldn't want his ass around either. Now let's fast forward into 2014. Police arrived for a friend wanted in connection with the homicide, found 2 handguns on Lil Durk, arrested him, and got felony gun charges violating his probation. So the man was already on probation. That was from the Chicago Magazine. Let's go to March 2015. His manager, Chino, OTF member, shot and killed while sitting in a car, right? So there's a whole bunch of drama that's going on in Chicago. As we know, it's Chirac. We understand why you need to carry a gun. We understand that part. But what I don't understand is what happens later on down the life in his criminal history. In 2016, arrested on felony gun charges again and violates his probation, but the charges got dropped. I wonder how the charges got dropped. Now, from 2016 to 2019, Lil Durk was not getting into trouble. He was a family man, I believe, at that time, or he had to start settling down with India. So he started to kind of try to transition out of the hood at this point in period of time. This was around a time where I believe he was getting money, but I don't care about what he was doing with his family and what he was trying to do, because in 2019, some more drama happens. So it's an alleged shooting. He recorded a song, Turn Myself In. He was charged with 5 felony charges, including attempted murder, possession of a firearm by a felon, and gang activity. The charges were dropped. Later in 2019, and this is what the feds have picked up and charged him with in his case now, while he's locked away now, this is what the feds are charging him with right now. Durk and King Von charged with the shooting of a man in Atlanta, right? Stealing $30,000 in jewelry at the vehicle at gunpoint. And there's obviously, they saying that there's surveillance of Durk doing these things. Now, let's run a clip.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. Channel 2's anchor Lori Wilson is live near where the shooting happened, near the Varsity. And Lori, police say they have video evidence in this case.
Javita, APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street, in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
Okay, well, he does that with King Von. He's sliding, right? Now, this is what I believe. And I don't care what you think. This is what I think. Now, this is the thing. King Von put pressure on Durk. Durk's hood put pressure on him. He couldn't get away, even if he wanted to. He was trapped. He was destined for this life. He couldn't escape. And that is the pitfalls. That is the horrors of joining a gang. If you join and you are the breadwinner and you are funding it and you decide that you want to leave, they're going to come and get you. Now, not a lot of people understand that concept because they're not from the streets. But guess what? You don't have to be from the streets because I just told you. You understand? 2019, that happened, the shooting. 2020, let's fast forward to FBG Duck got shot 16 times. 16 times in an affluent area in downtown Chicago. Why? Because there was a bounty out for his head. Now, was FBG Duck a saint? No. But that doesn't mean that somebody should just come and kill him. Obviously, there's beef. We understand that there's beef. We understand that there's tension. We understand that there's rivals. But at the same token, he had a hit out on him. And who paid for the hit? Now, we're going to run a clip on this alleged $100,000 bounty on FBG Duck head.
5 alleged Chicago street gang members now facing federal charges in connection with the shooting death of a local rapper downtown. The charges announced today by the U.S. attorney, who says social media played a role in this case. Our Patrick Elwood live at the Dirksen Federal Building now with the latest. Pat?
Ben, and right you are, a brazen act of violence that took place on an August day in the Gold Coast against a Chicago rapper. And then it was promoted and bragged about on social media. And the feds say it was because of that helped them make this case. It was back in August of 2020 that Carlton Weekly, who went by the rapper name FBG Duck,
wants to know so we can spin it.
Was gunned down in the city's Gold Coast while shopping. A joint task force of law enforcement working together on this one. And today, CPT Superintendent David Brown says this is part of a bigger strategy to thwart gang violence and maximize prison time for those who will be found guilty.
We are going after gangs in this city. This includes gang investigations, narcotics investigations, and gun investigations. We are working together to hold gang members accountable.
Now, Lil Durk's brother, D-Thang, let me show a picture real quick. He allegedly knew about these things, these bounties and stuff like this transpiring because he was too involved in the street murder, bounties, bodies, extortion, drug dealing, guns, all the stuff that gangsters do. He was involved with it too. But let's go from August 4th, 2020 to November 6th, 2020. One of the most glorious days. King Von dies. That's a glorious day. You know why? Because he's off the streets. You know why he's off the streets dead right now? It's because his ass wants to go around just straight terrorizing. Now, remind you earlier, I believe my theory is that in 2019, him and Durk with the shooting, King Von pressured Durk into doing these things. I don't think Durk is walking around saying as a multimillionaire, let's go get the ops. I don't think he's trying to do that. But guess what? King Von and Durk are like this. And King Von wants smoke at all times. So he had an issue with other rappers, his ops, because things got bad. I'm going to run a little video on why things got bad and how it transpired into it did. Watch it.
Yeah, Rick and Sean, according to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
It hurt us. It hurt us a lot. I cried. Some of my friends cried. He had a big influence on us, a really big influence.
26-year-old Devon Bennett, also known as rapper King Von.
He won't be back on the streets, he old. Everyone that he love, they gon' be gone.
Shot and killed after a deadly fight erupted in front of Monaco Hookah Lounge. Two men approached King Von and his group in the parking lot, and an argument ensued. The argument quickly escalating to a shootout between the two groups.
Now, Durk's brother D-Thang Banks, 2021, guess what? He gets shot and killed in a club in Harvey, Illinois. So he was in Illinois, got shot. Let's just watch this really quickly.
The brother of rapper Lil Durk was killed in a shooting in Harvey over the weekend. Dante Banks Jr. was also known by his rap name OTFD Thang. According to TMZ, he was shot outside of a nightclub on Halstead just after midnight Sunday in the south suburb. There's no word on any suspect in the case. Lil Durk has not commented yet on his brother's death.
Now, as I said, things keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Why? Because Durk went from going and sliding himself to getting fame and money and going and paying for people to slide in the name of OTF. Only the family. Well, I don't think it's a family anymore. In January 27, 2022, Stephon Mack died. Now, the leader of Smashville Gangster Disciples, which was a rival or an op to OTF, he's outside of a youth peace center in Chicago. And federal documents say that Lil Durk bankrolled the hit. He ends up dying. So it's body after body after body after body after body, his own people, other people, and this is what we just know of. Now, in August 19th, 2022, Durk texts, don't book no flights, no names involved with me. 5 OTF members from Chicago left to LA. They flew to San Diego, where a op was, given ski masks and fully automatic weapons, tracked Quando Rondo down to Beverly Center, right down the street, gas station, fired 18 rounds trying to kill Quando Rondo and instead killed his cousin in broad daylight. Now, who do you think was behind this? Why do you think that these men who have no involvement, have never even met these other rappers, decide that they want to have extreme courage in broad daylight, damn near in Beverly Hills, California, go and try to assassinate somebody in broad daylight? Do you understand what I'm saying? There is no other motive outside. They are about to get balling. They're gonna move up in the ranks. They're gonna get money, a nice little bag for the killing. Now, remind you, this beef between Quando Rondo and Lil Durk. If you don't know, you live under a rock. The person that killed King Von was associated with Quando Rondo. Lil Tum was associated with Quando Rondo, who is beefing with Lil Durk. Lil Tim killed King Von. So now you see why there's just this absolute tension between the two. Now, does that mean that you go and pay a bounty and put money on Quando Rondo's head? No. But guess what? Like I said before, Durk had no choice. He didn't. He had to pay for these hits. Everybody's saying slide for Von. So he had to go slide for Von. Some way, somehow, Quando Rondo needed to get done. And that's what he tried to do. Now, October 24th, arrested in Miami airport private jet. He was trying to flee the country to Italy. Well, brother, you should have thought about that a long time ago. It's a little bit too late to be trying to flee the country. You should have fled the country back in 2019 after the alleged shooting that you had, that the feds are now putting as your third pending indictment on this new federal case. And you made that song, turn myself in. You should have fled then, but you didn't. And because you didn't, you started to commit more and more and more and more bold acts. And your friends are dying all around you. Other people are dying all around you. And June 4th, today is June 6th, 2026, Lil Durk gets a new indictment citing his own music video, Red Man for 2020, depicting him chasing and acting out the murder that he did. Now, how smart is that? Yes, we understand that this is how you get viral. Yes, we also understand this is how you make money. Yes, we also understand that this is entertainment purposes only and that this is a creative resource. This should not be on the case. I don't believe that if I go outside and shoot right now, I punch a squirrel in the face, nothing should happen to me because this is different. It's an imaginary squirrel. It's a CGI squirrel. You could say whatever the hell you want to say. It's a music video. But they decide to throw it in the case anyways. Why do they decide to throw it in the case? Let me tell you my theory. My theory is this. Lil Durk is going to be dried of his pockets. He has some of the most high profile lawyers. I think that they believe the positioning is weak for Durk because they're adding on new charges and adding on things. No, they have a bunch of stuff that they can add on to this man. They're just drying his and prolonging this out so that he doesn't have these high profile lawyers anymore. They're gonna YNW Melly Lil Durk. It's gonna be even worse than YNW Melly. We're not gonna see Lil Durk again. And if we do, then the judicial system has failed us. But Larry Hoover, if you don't know who that is, he's a known gang member who never pulled the trigger. But yet and still, he's in jail for life for multiple murders. What's the difference between Lil Durk? Oh, so you're saying to me that just because Lil Durk makes music that he hasn't done the same thing that Larry Hoover is locked up for now? Larry Hoover ran a criminal enterprise. Lil Durk obviously ran a criminal enterprise. Larry Hoover committed murders, and Lil Durk was bankrolling murders. Larry Hoover was bankrolling these murders. Never pulled the trigger. Durk, same situation. So I don't understand why people aren't talking about and speaking the ugly truth. This is the ugly truth of this situation here. Since 2011, he has been and done nothing but destructive things to in and around his community, damn near in my community, and I'm in California. So death follows him like a shadow lurking in the night. And you know what's even crazier to think? All the Little Durk fans, and maybe even you on the other side of this camera, have streamed or viewed or gone to a Lil Durk show. And you know what? That is the money that he used to put these bounties out on these people's heads and get them murdered. He's using you guys to bankroll murders, to bankroll and fund weapons. He's using the population. He is evil. King Von is dead because he was evil. Lil Durk is locked up, about to be in jail for life because he is evil. They manipulated, they perpetuated violence, they poisoned people's heads into thinking that this demonic stuff is cool. And it's not. What's cool is that you go and get some money without trying to kill somebody. That's what's cool. You could go do the same thing that all these other people do that are in the entertainment industry. But I understand the position that Durk is in because he had no choice. They were going, meaning OTF, were going to jump down him if he didn't start pressing people for Von. I get it. But like I said, you could have flew off to Italy like you tried to do it when you got caught or you were about to get caught in 2024. Could have just left. So you tell me, do you absolutely still think that Lil Durk should be free after all of the crimes, year after year after year, murder after murder after murder after murder that either he was associated with or indirectly associated with happened? And if you do, you need to seriously look in the mirror and ask yourself, why would I support someone who is killing people?